listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, March 3rd, 2025, and welcome to episode 828 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm enjoying a Brian's Blend from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get 10% off discount code LOTS10, and the shipping is always free while you're there. Check out the C4 Club, probably the best coffee club I've ever come across. Just fantastic air roasted coffee delivered directly to your door once a month at a phenomenally low price. Like, you can't beat the price, just so you know. Check it out at foodforestfarms.com. If you're not into the coffee club, just pick up a pound or two and try it. It is a fantastic product. Today, I'm going to be chatting about lots of new website stuff. The irritation factor's been cranked up, I have a feeling, and I love my wife. The big reason why it's not what you think. Well, it might be what you think, but I have one special reason that I realized this morning that I love, or this weekend, that I love her more than anything else. I'll share that and so much more. So thanks for hanging out. Let's head over into the live chat, see who's hanging out, and we will get rolling with the show. Looks like Noster's working today. Just looks like Noster's working today. Good morning, Seattle in early. Must be on break out there, working hard in the Amazon warehouse. Says he loved the Candy Wood meth crew story. I don't know if the crew and Candy were active meth participants. The two dudes unloading the truck were actually pretty old. I would say definitely well into senior citizens range. I'm not sure if meth was involved. Maybe. We'll see. Definitely the first purchase of wood I made this year in Tennessee was probably some chemicals involved. The darkness when Candy came and gave me the wood, it was in the dark, so I really couldn't see. So sometimes that's just for the better. Good morning, Digger. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. John Palmer, good morning, good day, and good week, sir, as well. Hunter, good morning over on Twitch. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you as always. Canadian Farmstead, driving. Well, don't enjoy this show so much you run off the road, but definitely have a good time. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for popping in. Pip says, just picked up this morning's order of Food Forest Farms coffee. You just picked up this. Where did you pick it up from? And how were you not craving it? This actually isn't a Brian's Blend. I forgot to change the intro. Forgot to change my notes in the intro. I did everything except the coffee, and it's actually Ethiopian. Ethiopian is fantastic too. Brian's Blend was last week. Enjoyed that bag. Finished it out and moved on to this Ethiopian light. So anyway, hope everything's been going good for you guys. It was a great week. We had Pip says my mail goes to my old roommate's house. Such is life. I have alternative mail delivery situation too. I feel you. I gotta head out today and grab some mail. Well, it's a pretty good week overall. We did have some cold. We had some warm up. We had a wide range of temperatures. Spent a lot of time inside doing web work. I mentioned last week that I got the new. Well, I inadvertently got the new Lots Project website up and rolling, and switched over and replacing the old site from the web hosting guy just doing it. I asked him if he could and explained what I wanted to do, and it was done. And so we just left it instead of trying to mess around, do it again. But I didn't have any blog posts ready. And that was a big thing. I wanted at least a few blog posts in each of the resource sections when it launched. That was not the case. The resource sections were built out. All the pages were there, but none of the blog posts were there. And then also there weren't any product reviews. And I was hoping to have one of those up at least one. So be it. They flipped it over, and it is what it is. So last week I decided I really wanted to pound out some blog posts, and I was hoping to do one for each section of the resource section. But I did the first one in the Bitcoin section. It's just a beginner guide to getting into Bitcoin. If you know nothing or you want to refresh or something like that. And so as I was writing that blog post, I realized that I was going to need a few other ones to link to, just because for more explanation, these are kind of really 101 level introductory information. So I wanted to be able to expand further. One example, I mentioned software wallets. I explained what software wallets were, and then I wanted a post that recommended some software wallets. So I dove into that this week and ended up getting, I think, 4 or 5 posts done. I ended up going with, I believe, 4 on the site, but got them all mass uploaded at once. Took a bunch of time doing that. I did some other stuff on the website. But that's up. So Bitcoin has a Bitcoin section on the resources, has a few blog posts, just some intro, like I said, intro 101 level Bitcoin stuff, some best practices for security, an explanation of what Bitcoin is, a hardware wallet. I don't think I did the hardware wallet section because there's only one I used, or 2, I guess, one company, but software wallets and maybe an explanation on layer 2 and Lightning and Liquid, I think, is the other one I went with. But got those uploaded. I also got started on the podcasting first round of blog posts, and then I'll continue with the AI after that. Good morning, Rachel. Rewilder Life stopping in, getting ready for work, then working on the house. Picked up some fish chowder to warm up. It's still cold. Fish chowder, huh? We had tilapia last night. We had fish for the first time in quite a while. I shouldn't say quite a while. We made fish for the first time. I shouldn't say we. Corey made fish last night for the first time in quite a while. We had a fish fry here locally a couple weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe a little more, and it was not good. I mean, it was all right. But Corey and I both talked about the fact that we both were very, very spoiled in our lives regarding fish and fish fries. Me growing up on close enough to consider it the East Coast. I was 6 hours from New York City, so close enough to get some fresh fish. We had lakes around. We had phenomenal fish fries on Friday nights. Every place had one, whether it's the Elks Club or the Legion or just a regular bar. And then after New York moving to Minnesota and landing in the land of 10,000 lakes and crappies and walleyes and sunny fries, and it's just, so we were really spoiled, and we came down here and it's catfish. It's catfish. It was okay. And we haven't really sought it out, but the 1 or 2 places I've tried fish since we've been in Tennessee have been meh at best. Kind of like pizza. But anyway, with the website, I got those blog posts up and working on a round of podcast and then a round of AI blog posts. And so I'm excited with the progress of the site. If you haven't visited, it's right there at thelotsproject.com. Just like normal, I got sections for this show, Director Detour. I have a section for some resources, beginner resources, things that I'm interested in, that I've dove into, that I can explain and help people, guide people through, where at least as far as I've gotten in each of those topics, which is quite a ways at this point. And then product review section and just kind of clean things up and made a complete overhaul of the site. I wasn't really happy with what I had, and this is what I wanted to go with. So there it's at. Wilder Life says, I made seafood, leeks, mushrooms, potatoes, raw milk, fish, all from the land, or my friend. Amazing. We're spoiled too, catfish. Yeah. Sounds good. That sounds good for sure. So then the next thing I wanted to tackle last week was I had been meaning to fix comfreyroots.com. I picked it up last year. I threw it together. It was mediocre at best. It was a site to get up there, hopefully to drive some traffic to with keywords, and the site was very lacking, and I wasn't very happy with it. I took some time, went through it, and just wanted to make a simple landing page and a product page and a checkout page. And I got that accomplished this week. I sat down and pounded it out in a day. Thanks to my friends, my Comfrey friends, for sending out some pictures for the site and helping get that rolling. But got some information, threw up a Facebook page real quick, and hopefully driving some traffic to my site this year and get away from being beholden to Etsy as much as I am for those Comfrey sales, and take a little bit more of that share onto my own site, and that would be really nice. But Comfrey's rolling for the year already. We started off, February was decent. Had a few orders, a normal trickle in February, and kicked off March here with a couple orders already so far in March. So Comfrey is up and rolling. If you want to get your Comfrey, you can head on over to comfreyroots.com, where you can get 10, 20, or 50 packs of Comfrey Roots. And I should do a morning show. I should do a morning show discount. I've built discounts into that price over on the Comfrey side, on the direct sale, because I cut Etsy out of the middle, and I'm able to save the customers a little bit money there. I did a stock sale for March, but I don't know if I can get it done by next week. If you're looking to get Comfrey, be sure to be in the Telegram group. I will drop the morning show discount in the Telegram group at some point this week when I get around figuring it out. And Hunter weighing in on some nice. Hunter has been troubleshooting some things for me down with the Comfrey down in Texas. Texas has a tough time, and it's been known to scorch out roots, scorch out young plants. You get them started in the spring when everybody's excited about getting plants in the ground. They don't establish enough before the heat. And so Hunter and I have been doing some experimenting down there. He did some roots in Rubbermaids, and basically just abused the shit out of them. Didn't really take care of them or anything, and he said they survived. So that's good. We're always doing testing and letting people know how hardy and how hardy the plant is, and our roots in particular are pretty damn hardy. So comfreyroots.com up. Just keep an eye out over in the Telegram group for a discount code if you're looking for Comfrey, and I will be sure to. I got to put it on my notes here before I forget, but be sure to mention it next week. So Comfrey. Sorry guys, I got so much on my plate today that I will definitely forget about this. There we go. Comfreyroots.com. Excuse me. So that was last week. Basically was getting through. We got through that cold snap and just worked on web pages and blog posts and all of that. This week I got a little bit more web work to do. I've been working on the Delinquent Scully website, and want to get that up and going, because we have some classes coming up here pretty quick, and I need a place to schedule them, advertise them, and get people interested in them. Carrie Brown is going to be doing a class. I believe it's in April. I have to look at my schedule, but get that up and get some people attending. That would be great. So Rewild there. Says I saw your snail pic. Yeah, Corey and I yesterday we cleaned out her with a little bit of help from me. Cleaned out the big snail tank, and when we do clean out the big snail tank, we transfer all the snails into a small snail tank to hold them while we get rid of all the substrate, the bedding, and clean the poop and all of that stuff. Well, they bury themselves in there. They're all over the place. So the easiest thing to do is just to grab them all individually and put them in a little tank and hold them. And so Corey's doing that, and I was getting the hose ready and all sorts of stuff to help her out. And I come back in, and she's like, "You want to see all the snails?" And now you got to remember, this whole thing started with Corey on a dog walk and her finding one snail on the side of the road, just your common nature found land snail here in West Tennessee. She picked it up, she brought it home. I think she had it in a Tupperware to start, and sent me to the store that day. I recall it was a day I was going down to get groceries anyway. Had me go over to PetSmart, get a little habitat for it, and we quickly outgrew that. But the picture doesn't do justice how many she's collected, hatched, or otherwise over the last. It's got to be a year. Corey, do you remember when you got your first snail? She's got her headphones on this morning. I don't remember when it was. It's got to be pushing a year, if not more. I think she's up over 30. I think she's got over 30 snails in her big, large aquarium. And it amazes me. She knows them. Like, I don't think she's got names for them all, but she knows their shell patterns, their size. She's able to keep track of when she's seen them, where they've been, how long they've been missing, how long they've been buried. And it's pretty fascinating. It's pretty fascinating to me. Over the last month or two, about a month, she's really been seeing them actively breeding quite a bit. I've mentioned it in the Telegram group. We've got some pictures and things like that of them breeding, like 2 sets of snails breeding at the same time. Just it was like a big orgy in the aquarium. And when we cleaned it out, we definitely saw the results of that. There were egg pockets everywhere in the cocoa core, and actually a bunch of hatched out little tiny baby snails. And so we were contemplating back and forth what to do with it. And when we started up, we went down the path of looking to see if breeding them was a viable option. And we're really not. I'm not sold on it yet. There is a market for it. There's definitely a lot of research and selective breeding and possibly buying breeding stock to get specific snails that sell better, not necessarily out of nature. So it's a toss up right now. So we definitely didn't keep all the ones that would have hatched this soon, very soon, like within the next few weeks. We release them into nature, but still have it on the radar what we want to do. Corey absolutely loves observing them, having them on our desk, and having them as pets. So they're not going anywhere. Our project with doing the live feed, it kind of fell apart with equipment issues and the internet moving and all of that. There was just a lot of hoops to jump through that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze yet. At some point that might be a better option when all the technical sides are easily overcome. So cleaned out snail tank and got a picture of a ton of snails. It's cool. They're pretty cool. If anybody's interested in it, we can definitely sell off a few. If you wanted to get started with snails, you can. We would definitely try to send you a couple and help you get set up and how to take care of them, things like that. So just reach out. You can always find me contact page through the website or on Telegram or any other social media. I'm a pretty easy to find person if you want to get a hold of me. So that was kind of that was yesterday. Oh, let me see on the list here. So one thing I had on the list is something that I pip in with a great comment. He snail mail. We would be shipping the snail mail for sure. This week I was on Facebook too much, too much for sure, but a little more than normal. I was doing some things with setting up comfryroots.com with a Facebook page. I was observing some things for out of curiosity, and I saw a post, and I think it was Michael Sparks, community member, uh, Michael Sparks. It might have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was Michael Sparks. Mentioned that the algorithm on Facebook was cranked up to irritation factor. I think is how he put it, or is really slanted to be irritating him that morning. Everything he had seen was counter to his beliefs and things like that. And relatively short after that, I saw someone else kind of mention the same thing, and I had been thinking it for a while. So we're here at the beginning of March. I had felt that until I consciously was looking at it, it was in hyperdrive for the month of February. And it makes sense. It makes sense. They and whoever they is, I don't know. It doesn't matter who they is, but it seems like they took the division and irritation, which was the presidential race, which built and built and built and built and built, and then culminated in the election of the Orange Man. Love him or hate him, whatever. That was the point. You either loved him or hated him. You either voted for him or you would never vote for him ever. So he was elected. He came out guns blazing with his executive orders. February was very confrontational, I would say. And I think Facebook just cranked it up. And I don't think it was just Facebook. I think I noticed it on LinkedIn. I don't spend very much time on X at all other than posting. And that's what I told Michael is I've kind of really gone to try to just post on social media as much as I can. You do have to interact. You have to do things to make the posting worth it. Canadian Farmstead says, not my president. No shit. Is Trudeau still your guy? Like, that's something I've wondered, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. Like, the guy quit, but for some reason it seems like he's still the prime minister. I don't know how that works, but anyway, it seems like the socials have cranked up that agitation algorithm. We like to poke the bear and make sure you're seeing things not necessarily. Like, I rarely see shit that my friends post, my friends or my likes or whatever. Governor Trudeau. Thanks, Hunter. Governor Trudeau. Canadian Farmstead clearing things up. You can't resign in Canada. If you get elected prime minister, the resignation only goes into effect when the new party leader is elected. So he can't, like, so if they decide not to elect someone, he just can't, he's not allowed to quit. We love baby Castro so much. We're not replacing him, so he can't quit. Anyway, the socials, it seems like they cranked up the irritation factor. It seems like they're poking the bear. There seems like they're keeping people pissed off, and not just the people that are happy that Orange Man won, and not furthering the irritation on people that didn't support him or can't stand him or whatever. it just seems like the irritation's there, and I don't know if it's in preparation for something. Let me get my tin foil out real quick. Getting people fired up, getting people irritated seems to be a good strategy prior to enacting something. Let's say. Canadian Farm says no, they're doing their very best to find someone even worse. They're just having a tough time finding them. John Palmer says if you turn it off every time it shows you stuff you don't like, it stops showing you stuff you don't like. Works for me anyway. Yeah, because it's never open. if you turn it off every time it shows you something you don't like, it's just never on. That way you can't be irritated. That's a good plan. But I think we might be in store for some bullshit. Not just your everyday normal bullshit, not the stuff that's been going on for a while, but like big accident or big terrorist attack or big world event that we have nothing to do with here in the United States. We would never have any part of anything that happens that causes turmoil or causes things to go in a direction that maybe some people would benefit or profit from in our upper echelons. That would never happen. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm thinking that maybe there might be, Hunter says the spring uprising and the summer of love. Yeah. I don't know what it's going to be. I haven't dialed in on Rewilder's Life says foil stock skyrocket. Tinfoil stock skyrocket. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I don't think we ever really know what it could be, but I just feel like if we're inching up on the prefaces of something. The country is really kind of pissed off in one way or another. They've really figured out a way to piss off even the happy people, the people that were excited that Trump got elected are now irritated because they're finding all this government waste and blah 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 and Doge and how much of it is kabuki theater and how much of it is real. How much of it is actually waste and how much will they actually do anything about it? Who the fuck knows? Doesn't really matter in your day if you don't know. But they found a way to keep people irritated that are even excited that they were happy that their side won. Because, oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, look at that. And then the people that don't like him, don't like Orange Man and Elon and all the whole crew there are just pissed off in general. So, who knows? Who knows? Is the idea of what they're doing something phenomenal? Do I wish they would just take a machete to all of government? Yeah, I wish it all would disappear. But Rewilder Life says unfunded all. Right. I mean, there's nothing. And that's another reason I don't know much about all of this. I can't speak specifics because the minute I see it, I just turn it off because I don't want to be irritated anymore. Yeah. So I think there's something coming along. I think the irritation factor has been cranked up. across the board, whether it's on purpose or just naturally, people are pissed off about shit going on, which they should be. Hunter says, if we get rid of government, who's going to tell me the exact number of pillow fluffs is optimal? I don't know. You could go get fluffer training. Wait, that's a different industry. Good morning over on Noster. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you over there. So the irritation factor is on high alert. That is one thing I have been spending a lot more time on Noster. Thanks for the cue over there, intuitive guy, to mention Noster. Noster has your own algorithm. You don't get fed bullshit if you don't like it. You follow who you want. Can it be an echo chamber? Yeah. Can it be? Is it a lot about Bitcoin? Yeah. Can you take some time and be conscious about the people you follow and the people in your feed and see wonderfully creative and inspiring people all the fucking time? Yes, yes, and yes. Does anybody all of a sudden decide that they want you pissed off for the day? No. I mean, maybe somebody in your feed, but you control those people. So you control what's there. You take personal responsibility for yourself, take a little extra time, curate your feed, follow the people you want. And it's fantastic. So definitely been spending more time on Noster, really trying to make that transition. And if I didn't have the footprint on the legacy social medias and feel as though I was doing myself a disservice by not utilizing those to get eyeballs on my stuff I'm doing, I would cut and run there. And it might get to a point where it just needs to happen. I would love to be Noster only. I just can't. I can't convince myself that it makes sense at this point. Chris Dixon says it's the same everywhere. You are the algorithm. I mean, you are the be all and end all. You can just click out of things. I don't know if that statement's true on a platform level on Facebook. I can just remember it isn't necessarily about being irritated and pissed off. I've shared multiple times on this show where Facebook would get me in a loop that made no sense whatsoever. How about the Arnold Schwarzenegger bullshit where they were showing me him in 1972 in the 90s, in his movies, in his bodybuilding days, this, that, and the other thing. For weeks, they showed me shit about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I could give two living shits about the guy. I clicked out of them. I did the things. It's going to do what it wants. But yes, Chris is technically right. You are the algorithm by shutting the fucking app, like John Palmer said too. That you can just close it. You can close it when you see stuff you don't like. Noster, at least I have the control. Facebook doesn't necessarily show me. They rarely, I should say, less than normal. They show you the things that you've chosen, and that's the thing. Noster, I choose. I say I want to follow intuitive guy. Thanks for the zap, by the way, over there. I appreciate you. And he says, indeed, I'm the only algorithm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I choose to follow intuitive guy. And I see him in my feed, as opposed to Facebook, where I choose to follow Chris Dixon on Facebook. And the only way I can see Chris Dixon shit on Facebook is if I go to his page. Facebook will tease it here and there, but inside, above his post and below his post, it is 16 things that I didn't want to follow. I have no interest in. I didn't choose to see. I didn't want to see. And if I say see less of this, they just show me other bullshit. So that's the difference, I think. That's the difference. It is what it is. It is what it is. But beyond, it really culminated yesterday when I was looking for some stuff on there. I was checking on some insights on some of the Comfrey Roots posts, and I as I'm scrolling by, I have a local internet radio station that I follow on there. It was it's to get the local news, basically. But they are definitely hardcore righties, like the majority of the folks around here. Trumpet up, Trumpsters, trumpets, whatever the fuck you call them, orange gorilla men, I don't know. It runs deep here. And so they were pumping the weather, scaring people about the weather. That's another thing that's been on hyperdrive here. Like they're posting things that say, in a week, we might have a slight chance for inclement weather. Get ready for tornadoes. And the maps they're showing are from projections from a week and a half away that say slight risk, medium risk, possibly high risk, and big swaths of potential areas that there might be inclement weather. And I'm like, okay, so you're just poking, you're fueling the anxiety there. But those have been rolling in for a little while. And yesterday I posted it in the Telegram group, but one really caught my attention yesterday. And it was for this upcoming week. And it was a threat for some severe thunderstorms. And it said, oh, I gotta pull it up because I don't want to mess up the wording. It was too good. It had a second update and day 3 outlook is the title, and it said damaging winds, main threat Tuesday night during Trump's speech. And I don't even know the purpose for putting it in there. Was it because they feel like everybody in the fucking world knows when Donald Trump is talking, when he's giving his speech? Or are they implying that the storm is going to hit during Trump's speech and this is somehow somebody's fault or something? I'm not really sure what the point of putting the threat Tuesday night during Trump's speech is. There's a wind advisory for Tuesday, Wednesday, 50-mile-an-hour winds possible. But look out during Trump's speech. There might be high winds. It's insane. Like, what do the two things have to do with each other? No idea. So, Pip says you got to assume that Harp is just trolling people. Find the hotbed of trumpets and throw some high winds at them during a 1 hour period when the orange man's on TV beating his chest and talking. Did you guys see the Epstein files? Me neither. What a joke. Like, that's like saying you gotta I can't even make a simile for that because it's the most insane thing in the world. You think that the people that are they're not going to incriminate themselves. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Anyway. Hey Corey, when did you get your snails? So I'm sorry guys. I lost it for a second there. Anyway, another thing on the list I had to talk about. Get off social media. That was it. Get off it. Just stop. Stop being irritated. If you're on social media, take it with a grain of salt. Get somewhere where you're not being agitated or irritated. A lot of people in this audience definitely just roll with it and poke the bear and make fun of it. But even that, you're consuming your time with nonsense. And I can't say that this is like the pot calling the kettle black, because I do it all the time too. Real Other Life says we have TDS. That I think that's a diagnosed disease now, the Trump derangement syndrome. Real Other Life has brought to the forefront the TSS. This might be a new diagnosis in the wheelhouse coming up. But we have TSS, Trump Savior Syndrome. So we have a population that 46% are suffering from TDS, and 48% are suffering from TSS, and then we got the 6% going. They all fucking suck. I don't know. Anyway, if you need help getting on Nostr, if you signed up for Nostr, you still have your private keys, you still have your public key, your pub key, or your NPub, you know what you're doing. Definitely spend some more time over there. Intentionally take time away from legacy social media and spend it on Nostr. Search some things like introductions, hashtags. Search some hashtags like introductions or grow Nostr, things like that. Find some cool posts. Find some interesting people. Click on their profile. Check. Oh yeah, Chris Dixon. I'll mention that too. But go look at their profile. Look at the things they post. See if they align with you. See if it's stuff you're interested in, or maybe stuff you disagree with, but maybe they present it in a way that you're willing to learn or to read about it. Rewilder Life says new t-shirts, the 6% Club. Brian goes to his notebook, jots the 6% Club down, and will never remember when it comes time to do that. But I like it. TDS versus TSS. Chris Dixon says, go touch the earth. Yes. Give this a try for a week. If you're feeling irritated, you're feeling stressed out, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling hurt, butthurt, taken advantage of, I don't know, or you're feeling shitty in general, take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, take your fucking shoes off. And I know it's cold in a lot of the country, but you got to have some place where you can go and stand on some even frozen soil. If you can make it warm, but put your feet in contact with the ground. Or if it's too cold and you can't do that, maybe it is too cold. I get it. Go stand outside for a minute with no phone, with no electronic devices, with no things on your mind that you got to do. Not walking to the car to go to the store, not walking from the car into work. Go outside to do nothing except be outside. If you can. if you can get in contact with the ground, even better, but just be outside with no other reason but to be outside. Rewilder Life says, I just want feet pics. And she says, rewild your life. Just get the fuck outside. Yeah, rewild. I mean, if you can rewild, if you can go back to wilderness, that'd be fantastic. But Chris Dixon nailed it. Go outside and touch the earth. And I'll even stop short of that. Just go outside and look around. Maybe you're in the city. You have to have a tree. Go look at the tree. Go look at the bark. Go look at the leaves. Observe them. Don't just walk by them and notice them. Observe them for a minute. Go look at the flower bed. and we had a little good laugh about her talking about her tomato plants and how they were tossing shade on each other, throwing shade on each other, and had no idea that was a slang term at the time for a diss for throwing shit at somebody, making fun of them, whatever, throwing shade. Had no clue, had never heard it when she said it, and I laughed. She had no clue what was going on. I thought that was fantastic. It meant to me that she had totally been out of the loop of any a popular culture discussion or anything like that. The other day when we were at the laundromat, I believe we were at the laundromat, we were sitting talking, and I said something about DEI. Now, DEI has been in the news pretty hot and heavy for, I mean, at least since Trump's been elected, but over the last 4 years, that's been the focus of the whole the left movement is DEI. Do you guys know what DEI is? Have you heard of it? Have you heard it mentioned? Do you have any clue? Have you at least heard of it? Not my wife. No clue. Says to me, what? What's that? And I just smiled. And I think to myself, how different would the processes in my brain be if I had been isolated enough to not know what DEI is? If I had been able to not focus on that bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I wish I could do more of it. But to be able to go over the last 4.5 years and not have DEI stuffed into your brain enough that you know what it is, to be able to ignore it, I wish I could do that. So I explained to her, and she's like, I mean, I get it. Like, I know that that's happening, but she had never contemplated the term or heard the term or internalized the term, noticed it enough to have it in her brain. I thought that was fantastic. I wish I could do more of it. I try to do more of it. And then the other thing this weekend that made me realize how much I love her, and from the start, she's just told me, she's like, I trust you to let me know if something's going sideways in the world, because I don't pay attention to the news, to nothing. And I'm like, yeah, right. She definitely doesn't pay attention to celebrities, and I've gotten better at that. Music, TV, actors, pop culture, all of that. I've gotten really, really a lot better at stepping back. And I think that happened when we cut TV, a lot of it. And so now over a dozen years ago, at least. But I still am in, like, you get it tertiary as you're looking at other things. You hear names and you hear people, you hear the headlines of celebrities in the news, blah, 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 just in passing. But we were watching a show, a movie or something on Amazon, and there was a character in the show that looked familiar. Didn't know who he was. And I don't even think he was anybody famous. I can't even remember what it was, but I don't think it was a main actor in anything. And he looks similar to a character in another show we've been watching. And the character in the show we're watching, he's white. And this dude happened to be black. Not super black, just darker skinned than the white dude. And the guy's name of the known person, his name is Jay. And I said, oh, that's like Black Jay. And she's like, who's Black Jay? And I paused for a second and realized that I could just make people up. in my wife's life. I could make up celebrities. I could have this whole fantasy world of celebrities that I just name and make up personas for, and she would really just never have any fucking clue. I contemplated it for a split second. I just looked at her and chuckled, and I said, he looks like a black version of that guy in the other show. But man, the opportunity, the door swung wide open, and I just couldn't walk through it. But no idea, and would completely trust me, and the fact that I've earned that trust, and I can't break it at this point. Chris Dixon says that's what I do with the voices in my head. Real Wilder Life says I'm with her. I think if more people were, the world would be a better place. I feel like my wife is in the 80s when she was born and grew up, in the late 80s. She's not that old. Where we didn't have, like, if you didn't turn on TV in the evening, there was no really contact with the outside world. If you didn't pick up the newspaper and you didn't turn on the news and you didn't turn on the evening TV, if you just spent the day outdoors, you woke up, you ate your breakfast, you went outside, you did your shit, you came home and you went to bed, there wasn't a constant onslaught of the world, the bullshit, just celebrities. You had to pick up Us Weekly and intentionally learn who was popular. You had to intentionally buy a magazine to let society tell you what you should care about. Not anymore. But my wife is still there. Wilder Life says it was amazing growing up then. I agree. It also was I think there was a prefaces there where we melded, we kind of overlap the pre data onslaught and the post. And I think when you experienced it prior and then it developed and you realize the power of it, you get immersed in it. I took hold of it and immersed myself in it. And now I'm trying to backtrack and get out of it as much as I can, and utilize it for what it can be used for and what it can be powerful for. But the bullshit that comes with it is definitely there. And it kind of circles back to that irritation factor. There are purposes to use social media. I think they get lost in the mix. I really think they get lost. And you need to be very intentional on why you're using it. I struggle with it. I struggle for sure. I've tried different methods. I've tried clocks on my phone. I've tried this, that, and the other thing. I don't know how she does it. She just doesn't care. She honestly, in her heart, couldn't care less about any of it. And I think a lot of us say we don't, me included. But when it's put in your face, there's something that eats at you inside. I'm also like a vacuum when it comes to information. It all gets sucked in and it's just rattling around in my head. And that's been since I was a kid. So that's a double-edged sword with social media and the ability to just scroll through mounds of information all at once. And it's all just, it's a cesspool. So anyway, I love my wife. I wish I was more checked out, I guess. And people look at, I was thinking about her and this trait she has and how in today's world it's almost frowned upon. I even prefaced it that people would think that I'm making fun of her. I think it's a very envious a quality. I think it's a very, very great quality that she has. And I think in society, it's almost labeled as, how can you be that clueless? How did you not know that? And I get that reaction sometimes when I talk to her, and then I circle back and realize, what difference would it make if I didn't know? What difference would it make if I didn't know that? She's right. She's right. I'm wrong. So anyway, that's a little about Corey and how much I love her. AI class wrapped up last week. The AI class I was taking, Joshua Hale's 28-day ChatGPT challenge. It was phenomenal. For the money, 1,000% worth it. I would say I was in the upper end of the skill level going into the class. It is definitely focused on people that may have opened ChatGPT and typed something in it, maybe dabbling with it a little bit, not sure how to use it, what it is, what it's all about, even up into intermediate users or people that are using it almost daily, at least daily, because I was using it daily prior to the class and I learned a ton. John Palmer says, like, people not being able to believe I didn't know when the Super Bowl was. I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. Football is a tough one for me, but the rest of the sports in the world I've really checked out on. And there's reasons for the football, but getting close. Josh's class, though, for anybody even up into using daily AI, he's doing another round. It's going to start at the end of March. It's up to the 30-day ChatGPT challenge. And if you didn't take this round, I don't think I saw anybody in this audience in the class. I think we had 50 people in the class. Great turnout. Maybe it was 30 to 50, somewhere in there. There were some late stragglers that popped in. I'm going to put the link, my affiliate link to Josh's class in the video description, in the comments, and then it will be in the episode description, audio and video. I'll get that in there if you want to check it out. But that is going to be starting at the end of March. 100% recommend taking it. You will get more out of it than your money's worth in the first couple days. And more than likely, if you really think about it and you really put an effort into the class, you're probably going to be able to make back the money that you spent on the class from the information you're going to get in the class. And I think that's the end goal of anything, is to make it pay for itself. This one's worth it. Starts at the end of March. If you want to check it out, get signed up now, so you don't forget. I will be mentioning it. I'll probably mention it every week and just a little blurb, but I can't recommend it more. Joshua's doing amazing things, teaching people on how to use AI, the basics, the building blocks, and then even beyond. He's got a catalog of courses that you can check out, but this beginner one is absolutely great. Rewilder Life says, are you using Grog at all? Right now, I'm basically, because I was doing the monthly February challenge, I was really hyper focused on ChatGPT. I trialed the pro version to see its capabilities versus the cost. I use Claude a little bit still, and I branched out on some image generation stuff because ChatGPT's image generation just isn't quite there yet. So Grog, no. I know some other people using different services. I know Good Morning Seattle, they're using Grok 3. Yeah, your preference, man. I have a month's worth of data loaded into ChatGPT, and I'm guessing my ChatGPT LMM, my instance is 1,000% different than yours, and their update is coming this week. They're in a race. It's just a matter of who releases first and second. It's all with it. Pip says, sooner or later, I want to see if AI could help me organize the parts warehouse better on the list. Yes, it can. I'll give you a little thing that I did with ChatGPT, an exercise that we learned in the class, and I didn't know that it had this capability. So you literally can open your refrigerator and snap a picture, not make a list, not like go to your fridge and open it up and write a list and say, I have these ingredients and make me a recipe. Like legit open your pantry, open your refrigerator, and if there's labeled items in your refrigerator, take a picture and say, this is my ingredients, make me a meal for tonight. Good morning, Seattle says ChatGPT is woke and Grok will help you plan a heist in public. I don't give a fuck if it's woke or not. Is it worth, like, legit, do I need it to not be woke to make me a menu? Do I need it not to be all right, I'm gonna have to mute you, dude, because you can run yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's a tool. It's a tool. That's all it is. Is it worth the money? Yes, 100%. 100%. When you know how to use it. When you know how to use it. So yeah, take a picture. That's just it's the tip of the iceberg. It just happened to be something that I had no clue of its functionality, and that it was capable of that. Blew my mind. The class, taking the class for an intermediate user, I think is more about the ideas, the what else could I use it for? I have the understanding of how to write a prompt. How can my prompts be better? How can I write a prompt to instruct the AI? And the things you're going to learn on chat in Joshua's class can be used across the board. It's not just for chat. We use ChatGPT for the class. You have to choose a platform to instruct on. The ideas and concepts can be applied to almost any LMM model. You can go use it on Gronk. You could use it on Claude. Actually, we have there's suggestions in the class. Rue Wilder Life says I can see using both, like Costco and Sam's. Yeah. I had at one point during the class, I had ChatGPT teach me how to use Google Sheets, to use script in Google Sheets to daily pull me articles, summarize them for me, and read me the summaries for whatever topic I want. I can feed it sources. I can feed it general instructions to check XYZ news feeds. I can do whatever. And every morning it triggers and it says, hey, AI, ChatGPT, or whoever you want, go fetch me this. And when I come and open the sheet, I want to be able to click a link and you read it to me. It's all about it. It's a butler. It's an assistant. And yes, using multiples. Like right now, the image creation on some services that are based on image creation, that's what they're trying to do. Is they're far ahead. It'll all get there. We're so early in this that it's all coming. It's in everything you're already using. Mike Somstead says DeepSeek is pretty good if you aren't asking about North Korea, Tiananmen Square, etc. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Understand that everything that you put into any one of these, unless it's self-hosted on your own server, is public. It's using your information. You're not changing it. I mean, you are in a slight 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% instance. More than anything, you're just profiling yourself. And we kind of we prove that. I don't know if it was intentional or unintentionally at the end of our course. The last couple prompts, I think it was 3 days of prompts that we did in the class, basically took the combination of the month's worth of work that we did and told you use that gathered information that you didn't tell it to remember. Did some personal exploration. From the things I discussed with you, what would you say my 3 biggest strengths are? What are my weaknesses? Identify this, that, the other thing. And the amount of information that it gathered just by using it is A, scary, but 2, very impressive to me. Especially going further and running your own model. It's all a skill. A woodworker can use it. It really comes down to the different platforms. OpenAI versus Grok versus DeepSeek versus Claude, Anthropic, or whatever made Claude. It very, very, very much reminds me of yellow versus black, or yellow versus red, excuse me. DeWalt versus Milwaukee versus Makita versus Ryobi and Rigid. They're all, you know what? They'll all fucking drill a hole. They'll all screw in a screw. They'll all cut a piece of wood. You're going to have your preference. I'm going to use whatever fucking works, whatever I can get my hands on, and whatever makes sense in that situation. But guess what? They're all going to work to drill a hole. Some might be a little faster. Some might last a little longer. Some might be a little more torque. Some might be better with a dull drill bit, and some might be better with a sharp drill bit. But they're all going to drill a fucking hole. They're all tools. And the operator is what? The operator of the tool and the knowledge of how to use it is the deciding factor. Can argue all day about who's collecting what's going on with the data, where their data sources are, what the parameters they put in. But guess what? Unless you know how to use it, it doesn't fucking matter. It won't matter. So learn how to use it. And that knowledge is transferable amongst all the different platforms. The knowledge of how it works and how to use it. In the end, we could sit here and argue about DeWalt versus Milwaukee, but they both drill a hole. So, AI, yeah, check out the class. I would be, if you don't, I mean, you decide. John Palmer says, are you the operator or the dull drill bit? Both in some cases. I highly suggest it if you're interested in AI. If you've started down the AI path, and don't feel like it's worth using, there is the ideal person to take Joshua's class. If you've used AI and you're like, meh, that's nothing special. If you've said that, you need to take the class. If you are interested in learning about it, class will be fantastic for you. If you've already used it, you understand the power of it, you want to harness it more, class will be effective for that. But if you've sat there and said, Meh, it's okay. What's the big deal? I don't get it. Take 30 days and learn. Literally in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 Central, we got a prompt sent to us in a Signal chat. You did the prompt, and then we had a group chat where we could discuss our results, questions, problems, issues, insights. And it was fantastic. Couple minutes a day. Blow your mind. It'll just blow your mind. So just my 2 cents. Learn how to use it. It'll play out. The big winners will come to the top. I'm hopefully want to learn how to run my own in the end. Director Detour, check it out, guys. I've been putting blog posts up on the site. They last week, I believe, have gotten their own, or maybe a little bit more. I think I got four episodes up, blog posts every day. One went up today. If you guys didn't listen to last Friday's episode of Director Detour, I went back and forth. It's extra long. It ended up being about 70 minutes, hour and 10 minutes. It was with Tim Thomas, a Australian ex-Special Forces operator who has gone on a mission to help save veterans. They have an epidemic in Australia as well as we do here in the United States with veteran suicide. Hold on one second. Hunter says, wonder if it can do my takeoff list on blueprints. Absolutely, yes, it can. Absolutely, 100%, yes, it could. I have a project coming up with AI that I'm not going to talk about quite yet. But it kind of blew my mind that I'm going to be able to figure out how to do it. And once it's rolling and once it's a little further down the line, I'll definitely share it with you guys. But yes, I believe it could do a takeoff list on blueprints, Hunter. Sorry about that. Tim Thomas, epidemic here, veteran suicide, we know is a 22 day, 23 a day. I think it's going up. Australia has the same issue with veteran post-discharge suicide. Tim recognized that being in the service and has found some alternative ways to help that through breath work, through getting better sleep, through non-drug methods, non-pharmaceutical methods for sleep, for getting better sleep, from understanding that our body thrives on breath work, on oxygen, on good sleep, and not on pharmaceuticals to knock us out and to make our brain feel better, that our bodies are able to do that. We had an in-depth conversation at the end of the episode. He did some breath work with me, and the change, how instant the change was, gave credence to me of what he's talking about. We've continued to talk since we recorded the episode. I talk to him every couple days, and he's legit. So listen to the episode. He provided 20 free copies of his audiobook. He also has an app. He also has an app on the Google Play Store and Apple Play called Breathwork in Bed. Give it a shot. There's a free trial on it. The app wasn't for me. It might be for you. It just wasn't for me. I'm not saying it's bad, good, or indifferent. It just wasn't something that fit into my schedule. It might be something that you need. Otherwise, you can explore more of his stuff through his audiobook in that. So definitely check out Tim Thomas' episode of Directing Detour. You can find that at thelotsproject.com under podcasts. And this week coming up, this morning, Eric Burns, Chat with Eric Burns was released. He's right now he's a real estate investor, but used to be a firefighter and all sorts of things. Had a great conversation with him. And then Adam Torres and Mark Schmidt, two other great conversations I had, will be releasing on Wednesday and Thursday. You can follow that on any of your podcast players, or head on over, like I said, to thelotsproject.com and check out Director Detour in the podcast listings. Rewilder Life says taxes. I don't know if I would trust AI quite yet to do my taxes. I do believe you could probably utilize it greatly in tax preparation or day-to-day accounting. I think that you're probably going to want to. That might be something I would want on my own server. So I don't know. I don't know if I would suggest throwing your W-2s into AI. Actually, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I think that's what I got. That's what I did have something about Trump and the strategic cryptocurrency, the strategic shitcoin reserve with a little B on top, market with a B. Good morning. Seattle says a mortgage amortization. I asked it to do. I just knew what the number should have been at the end, and when I asked to recalculate it, discovered the right answer. Yeah, you have to remember that it's dumb. Rewilder Life says finding deductions was more what I asked it to do. If you can have it focus in on the tax code, I haven't gone this route, so this is just pondering and guessing. But I believe if you could use the tax code as a reference source and instruct it to get creative, probably. You might have to define risk tolerances and things like that, maybe. That's an interesting thing. An interesting. I have to think on that, Rachel. I appreciate that you bringing that up. I might have to have a discussion with Joshua about it and see what his feedback are initially. But I feel like that that could definitely be a thing if you crafted the right prompt, or you worked with a specific project enough. I think you could probably get pretty good at finding deductions. Never really went down that path, but yeah, for sure. Strategic shitcoin reserve, I'll probably hold off on that. I didn't really dive into it much. I saw it announced yesterday afternoon, and then the pump of Bitcoin along with all the other cryptos, because Orange Man says they're going to do something with it. Okay. One quote from the one article I read that really stuck out to me was quote, under his Democratic predecessor Joe Biden, regulators cracked down on the industry in a bid to protect Americans from fraud and money laundering, and it just made me chuckle as Trump meets with Zelensky, and one of the biggest money laundering bullshit things is coming crashing down. That in this article about cryptocurrency, they were worrying about Joe Biden protecting us from money laundering through crypto. The irony. Anyway, I'll work on that for next week. We'll talk about the Bitcoin strategic reserve, maybe some other Bitcoin stuff, a little bit more AI discussion, and a follow up on my week. Other than that, if you guys had anything you want to talk about, I could hang out for a couple more minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up, get out of here, get the show processing, and move along for the day. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Like I said, I got updates over on thelotsproject.com. If you're looking for comfrey roots for your garden, if your ground is thawed out, it's time to plant your comfrey, get it in the ground, get it rolling into spring. You can find that at comfreyroots.com, COMFREYROOTS, comfreyroots.com. Come on over to the Telegram group. You'll find a discount in there for show listeners, and we'll get that rolling here probably today. I'll get that up, discount code for that. If you could share that website with the folks you know that could use some comfrey in their life. If you haven't heard about it, if you don't understand it, man, I got 100 episodes about it. You can search you can search comfrey in my podcast catalog and find several different episodes about it. It's a fantastic plant. I've been dealing with it for going on a decade now, and you're going to get quality roots from us at comfreyroots.com. Check those out. Director Detour, check them out. Check out all the old episodes where you hit 50 episodes, 50 actual episodes. It says episode 51 in my feed because I do have a pilot, a little intro or whatever episode that I put out just to hold the space on the podcast host. So it says I got 51 episodes. Tim Thomas was episode 50. I moved on this week, was 51 episodes. So plenty to catch up on if you haven't been listening along the way. Pick an episode, listen to it. I suggest you start with the Tim Thomas episode and work your way back, and definitely catch all the new ones as they come out. So other than that, I hope you enjoy your morning. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you get all the stuff done. Like Chris Dixon suggested earlier, get outside, walk outside with no intention other than to be outside for a few minutes. 1, 2, 5. Stand outside with nothing to do. And if you can get in contact with the earth, take your shoes off and put them on the soil and just stand. I think you'll see a difference. Do it every day. I'm sure you'll see a difference. But get outside and enjoy nature. Definitely get off social media. Come over, check out Noster. Find the Telegram group. We got a bunch of people that don't have an algorithm there. We just bullshit and have some fun and share information in that group. I appreciate everybody over there. Great group of people. Beyond that, I hope you all have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and we will catch up with you next time.